Good morning, we're here in Miami Airport today. Today is February 5th, Saturday of 2022. Guess what we're doing? We are actually going on the biggest cruise ship in the world currently. I know their sister ship, Wonders of the Sea, has already been passed over to the Royal Caribbean Company and is technically the largest cruise ship in the world now. But since they don't set sail until March, I'm still gonna count our trip today on Symphony of the Sea as the largest cruise ship in the world. Okay, you might be asking, why is Advanced Sommelier doing a vlog on the cruise ship? So I was very obsessed with this cruise ship since 2019. I've been wanting to go on there, and of course the pandemic happened, so I never got a chance to. So I'm very excited to finally be on board. But through all this time, I was obsessing over the ship. I watched tons and tons of vlog video, people walking through every single deck, talking about the special dining or the entertainment on board. But guess what I didn't see? Nobody actually talked about the 20 plus different bars they have on the ship. So I feel like I'm specially qualified to walk you through each and every one of the bars in Symphony of the Sea, break it down to you and let you know which one is the best, what are the good drinks to get, and what are the good wine by the glass you should be ordering here in Symphony of the Sea. So go on the trip with me for the next 7 days, and we're going to try to hit up every single bar on this cruise ship for you guys to see, and I hope you enjoy it. Now, before you go, I'm going to talk about how the Royal Caribbean do their dining and drinking package. So you could, of course, order all your drink a la carte, and the ship we're on is considered one of their newest and biggest ship class, the Oasis class, and most of their cocktails are going to range in about $13 per cocktail, and most of the beer are going to be $7 to $8. But they do offer this unlimited, or they call it the deluxe drink package, which covers all your water, coffee, specialty coffee, non-alcoholic beverage, freshly squeezed juice, smoothies, and all the alcoholic beverage you can consume on board as long as they're under $13 per servings. If you go over that amount, you just pay for the difference. For Royal Caribbean, it is truly an unlimited drinking experience, because I've heard that in other cruise line like Carnival, they actually do cut you off after a certain number, but that is not the case as of this filming for Royal Caribbean. So you literally can have as much as you want, anytime you want, until you drop. So with 25 bars on board, we thought this was a really great deal. Next, I know a lot of people might ask, is it really worth it? Obviously, it really depends on how much you drink, and keep in mind that the Royal Caribbean keep their price very dynamic. So the price can change from sailing to sailing, from ship to ship. In our Symphony of the Ship, normally the drink package is about $90 per person per day, but it's almost never at that pricing. As long as you book pre-cruise, there's almost always at least a 10% off, buy one get one half off, or if you're really lucky, you book ahead of time, you can get it up to 35% off. So I've seen it as low as about $56 per person per day. So with that being said, you only need to drink 4 to 5 drinks per day to make it worth it. And when you're on vacation, it's pretty easy. Oh, and included with this drinking package, if you do want to order full bottles of wine on board, anything under $100, they do offer 40% off, and anything over $100 per bottle, they do offer 20% off. So those are a pretty good deal too. If you are going to be drinking fancy wines, and they do have a couple of wine bars, so I can't wait to share with you what I think is a good deal on Symphony of the Sea. So without further ado, let's go. Once we started filming this video, we realized it is absolutely impossible to hit all the 25 plus bars in the entire ship, plus some pop-up bars and all the other specialty bars that they have at Port of Call. So we decided instead to focus on the cocktail and specialty cocktail that stands out in some of their specialty restaurants and Port of Call. It's happening. We're one of the first person to get onto the Symphony of the Sea. Has been a really crazy month. They actually, due to the Omicron spike, had to cancel 3 of their sailing in the beginning of January. We were really scared we weren't gonna get on, but they just restarted back a week ago. Everything's going fine. They don't actually have any cases on board as far as I can tell. So we're the second cruise ship after they're coming back. Got a clean ship, probably less than 50% capacity, so we're ready to go. We're gonna document this moment. Between the bridge and the ship. There we go. All right, we're at our stop number 1. As soon as we board, 11 o'clock in the morning, this is their famous floating bar. It starts at deck 5, and this entire bar and its platform actually goes up 3 levels from the promenade deck to the central part deck in deck 8. Bright and early, really beautiful. Obviously, it's not moving anytime soon, but we still wanted to bring you here to check it out. That's the bar area, very centrally located. A nice little intimate seating around the side. A really great place for people watching. Some feature cocktail, and once you scan, you pull the full menu. And this bar looks like it had just like the traditional full menu with no special cocktail on board. I'm gonna give you all the great tips up front. With Royal Caribbean, what we noticed after 7 days cruising with them is that most of their cocktails lean a little bit on the sweeter side. While you're cruising, it is great to have your pina colada, daiquiri, margarita, but if you have a palate that likes more citrus driven and a little more tart based cocktail like myself, it could get a little bit tiring after a few days. We realized near the end that it's almost easier for us just to hit up things like gin and tonic to keep our palate fresh, or else everything tend to lean a little too sweet for our liking, but that's just us. All right, here's my first drink, the Painkiller, which was recommended highly in the Royal Caribbean's fan group. And Sean had here just your classic Bloody Mary. Cheers. How was it? Preface of Champions.
That's right.
Our second stop was at Jamie's Italians for lunch. This is one of the few specialty restaurants they have on board. We realized very quickly that each specialty restaurant have their own feature cocktail, and that's usually where the best cocktail on the ship is at. And all of them have a slightly different wine list and offering that matches the food they're serving. But since they're all within the same ship, you're more than welcome to order any wine you want at any restaurant and have them delivered to a different restaurant. Like I said, every specialty restaurant here on Symphony of the Sea have their specialty cocktail, and over here we have the Aldebaran Spritz, Rossellini, Milano, Negroni, Aperol Spritz, Bellini. All this stuff I think is just special to this restaurant only, along with kind of their standard wine list, and of course any other cocktail you can think of. Keep in mind that the Symphony of the Sea is a really big ship, and I'm sure they probably share a lot of the wine choices across the fleet. So the wine choices that they have has to be something that has a big enough production that can supply all of the ship, or at least consistently supply the Symphony of the Sea so they don't have to reprint menu every other day. Today for entree, we got the baked lasagna and also the white truffle tagliatelle. And to drink, we're doing one of their specialty cocktail, the Negroni, and also a glass of red wine. Originally, I was hoping to get a Montepulciano, but they were running out, or they ran out, so we're going for the Nero de Alba.
Cheers. It's pretty good. It's,
Nice.
Not overly boozy, which is good.
It is a marathon, not a sprint. So we are here, Deck A, Suite 260. So this is actually the Royal Caribbean's Grand Suite. Again, because of the pandemic, the capacity is down, so we actually end up winning this via a roll up bid. And this is our sale pass card. Let's see if it works. Ah! All right, we are here. The Grand Suite is absolutely gorgeous. So they have a welcome fruit basket. There is an espresso machine and a little sparkling wine and bottle of water for you. Next, we headed up to deck 17 to an exclusive area called the Suite Lunch, which is located right next to the coastal kitchen. You have to be staying at a suite level room in order to access this area. The benefit here is they do offer complimentary cocktail hour every single evening, and they do use top shelf liquor, including Stoli Lee, and more choices on scotch and other liquors as well. In addition to that, in the forward of the ship, there is also a suite-only sun deck along with its own private bar with the same top shelf choices that we'll check out later in this video. All right, night one, we're gonna be at one of their specialty restaurants. The Wonderland is the one where they talk about where all the foodie goes to. They have the most imaginative cuisine. It's more molecular gastronomy style food. right up our alley, and the cocktail is supposed to match just that. And we decided to be super extra and dress up for it. So I'm dressing up as the Queen of Hearts. My husband was kind enough to dress up as the rabbit. That is the rabbit right there. Let's go. We're going to go through this imaginative door. Really leads nowhere. That's what we want to call it.
Or does it?
Wonderland. Wonderland was designed very uniquely with two separate levels. The upper level is their open bar area, so you don't actually need to have a dinner reservation in order to come here and enjoy their specialty cocktail. That is the case with actually every single specialty restaurants as well. Even if they don't have a bar area, you're more than welcome to walk in during their open hour to order any specialty cocktail from the restaurant and carry it with you elsewhere. We've done that quite many times during our trip because we realized the specialty cocktail from the restaurants are usually some of the best cocktails on board. There are a total of 4 specialty cocktails in Wonderland. First up on the left is the White Rabbit Rita, although it came out blue. It is made with Patron, Condrieu, blue carousel, fresh lime juice, simple syrup, and a salt foam. To be honest, the drink came out a bit watery and it wasn't our favorite from the night. Next up, we have Down the Rabbit Hole. This is made with a Belvedere pink grapefruit vodka, Saint Germain fresh lemon juice, simple syrup, a splash of sparkling wine, and you can either choose a red pill or a blue pill. The pills are made with some kind of gummy gelatinous stuff, which is mostly flavorless. We tried both the red and the blue. They don't taste any different for us, to be quite honest. And the drink itself is great, but the pill in the cocktail doesn't really add anything to it. Next up, we have the smoke ring that is served with rye whiskey, sweet vermouth, maple syrup, bitters, and the cold smoke, of course, is served tableside. Beautiful showing, and it is a nice smoky drink if that's the style you enjoy. Last but not least, we have the Cheshire Cat Cosmo, a classic ingredient of vodka, fresh lime juice, Patron citron, cranberry juice. What makes it special is the tableside raspberry cotton candy, and they serve the cocktail over it to make the cotton candy disappear. Of course, it's always entertaining for the little ones to watch. I must say this was my favorite cocktail from the Wonderland. Okay, I know this is supposed to be a cocktail and wine review of Symphony of the Sea, but I must take a moment to talk about how amazing the experience is at Wonderland. Right now, we're looking at their kids menu. I have to show it to you guys. It comes like a book, and when you open it, the first time, this is the second time I open it, it's supposed to have smoke coming out of it. Absolutely impressive. The kids had a great time. And look at the attention to detail on the beautiful whimsical printing, upside down writing, and all the food for the kids was actually very delicious. We're going to do a quick montage of different foods we enjoyed that evening. Most of the food are served in the tapas or small plate style. The waiter highly recommend you to just trust them. Essentially, they'll bring you out pretty much everything from the menu for you to try, and nothing is quite as what it seems on the menu. So if this concept scares you, I'm going to take a line from our good friend, the Mad Hatter, serving the restaurant.
Open your mind. Open your eyes and of course your taste. And ask yourself what is real and what is imagined.
So just give it a go. You might be pleasantly surprised. And if you already are a foodie, this will be right up your alley. And the food here actually exceeded my expectation as far as quality and presentation and taste. So I highly recommend to give this restaurant a try if you're ever on board Symphony of the Sea or any of the Royal Caribbean ship that has this restaurant on board. Of course, if you're there, don't forget to say hi to our friend, the Mad Hatter.
My name is Hatter. Not mad.
Oh, not
a happy Hatter.
Happy Hatter. Hello, we're back on day 2. Today is a sea day, so it gives us more opportunity to explore more of the bar on the ship. Like I said, it is our goal to hit all 20 plus bars. I think yesterday we covered the Sweet Lunch Bar. We did the Racing Thai Bar, but we didn't go up and down. We just kind of do a quick thing. We also did one now. Wonderland, obviously, their 4 specialty cocktails were all very, very cool. So today we're gonna go to Izumi. It's a Japanese concept. They have the hibachi or teppanyaki on one side, and they have sushi on the other side. We're gonna do the sushi side. I know in Izumi, they actually have a couple of specialty beer, and they have a couple of sake-infused cocktails, so we're gonna go and check it out. Alright, Alright, here we are at Izumi Hibachi and Sushi. As we walk in, you will see that there are two sides of the restaurant. One side is where they do the teppanyaki or the hibachi side. I heard the service and the presentation is absolutely amazing. I actually walked by one night around midnight and we saw people actually singing and playing the guitar, so it's quite an experience, better than your local hibachi place for sure. On the sushi side, things are more calm. The quality of the food is very decent, and they do have 3 sake-based cocktails, which we opted to try all 3 today. The first one is She's a Geisha, and that is a fresh berry and pomegranate shaken with rose syrup and junmai grade sake. And right behind that, in the martini glass, is the spicy Okinawa. This is served with sriracha citrus and mixed with agave grapefruit juice and premium sake. To be honest, out of all the restaurants on Symphony of the Sea, the Izumi's specialty cocktail was the least impressive, at least for our palate. Reason being, all the drinks are based with sake, and sake is a liquor itself already having a pretty low acid content, and the addition they add in there, here we have pomegranate berry or sriracha, or the last one you'll see was a strawberry, all have a fruity sweet component to it. And some of the sake that they use already are sweet and lower in acidity. So overall, the cocktail just lacks that little bit of pop, that citrus thing to brighten up the cocktail. So we saw all 3 of the cocktail was slightly off balance, and we ended up ordering a half bottle of sake to enjoy with lunch instead. So here is the final specialty cocktail, the Japanese strawberry, which is a crisp fruity sake cocktail with a hint of lime. Unfortunately, this is also when I realized our mic was broken, and that is why you will see all the voice over for the rest of this video, because none of the mic or the sound that we got from the rest of the video worked. Alright, by day 3, we landed at Lavender on the part of Royal Caribbean's private island, and we realized they have bars set up everywhere, and that's also when we realized there's no way we're going to be able to hit all the bars on this massive ship, plus all the other extra bars that they have set up join the destination location. But I make sure to enjoy all the specialty drink whenever I land at a special place. So here at Labadee, what they're known for is the Doozy, and that is a very tropical frozen drink with orange juice, pineapple juice, papaya juice, some coconut cream, dark rum, coconut rum, and a little bit of grenadine. And of course, with that being said, a lot of these specialty drinks are all very tropical and fruit-based driven, and they're all leaning on the sweeter side. They're all very delicious. You can never really taste it wrong, and I can see why people love them. Next stop is Chop's Grill, another specialty restaurant located at Deck 8. Is their premier steakhouse venue with a more extensive wine list and wine selection, and this is where some of the really good deal actually comes in. Pay attention to the price on some of their high-end wine, for example, the Cristal and the Opus One. First thing of note is that they don't actually list the vintage of the wine, because the vintage could be changing. They only list the bin number in the beginning. That's to help the staff or the crew member to find and locate the wine for you. So it is always important to physically check what the vintage is, just because, for example, in California Cabernet, the 2016 and 18 will be phenomenal vintage, and the 17 is generally considered a little leaner and harder vintage. Same thing with a lot of their champagne. Depending on the vintage, you might have a different experience. Another thing to know, anytime you order any kind of alcoholic beverage on board Symphony of the Sea, there will be an automatic 18% gratuity added to your check. Now let's do some fun math for the Cristal and the Opus One. I have actually confirmed with the waiter that the Cristal was a 2012 vintage, and the Opus One, they have both the 2015 and 2016 vintage. All 3 of these choices are actually very, very great year. And if you're familiar with the pricing of Cristal, the average market price for the 2012 vintage is going for $319 per bottle. The price on board is $280 per bottle, but don't forget, we get a 20% discount, but we also have to add back the 18% gratuity. So let's just call that a wash at a straight $280 for the ease of calculation. it is still actually cheaper than trying to purchase it retail. And if you try to purchase this bottle at any other Michelin star or fine dining venue, they will cost at least twice, if not more. Same thing with the Opus One. The market price for Opus One 2015 and 2016s are hovering around $425 to $450 per bottle. So they're offering it $375 again is absolutely a great deal. So we ended up spoiling ourselves and grabbed the last bottle of the 2012 Crystal they have to offer. Cheers. We also ended up trying two of their three premium or specialty cocktail. The Pink Grapefruit Sparkle, again, it is made with Belvedere Pink Grapefruit Vodka, Saint-Germain Elderflower, and a splash of club soda. To me, was a little bit, again, watery and washed down, wasn't my favorite. However, the Lavender Vodka Martini made with Grey Goose, lavender, simple syrup, lime juice, and some fresh lavender was one of my favorite. I have seen people who have traveled on Symphony of the Sea or Royal Caribbean before, they either love it or hate this cocktail. If you love the smell of lavender or more of that floral, some people describe it as almost soapy smell, you're going to love this one. But if you're not a fan of that smell, you're going to end up hating it. I personally was a fan and I thought it was absolutely wonderful. And the food and the entire dinner was outstanding as well. So definitely another really great venue to recommend. And here again is my biggest tip. If you are coming on board the Symphony of the Sea and if you're planning on spoiling yourself with a really high-end bottle of wine, there are a couple of choices like the Cristal and the Opus One I point out that will be absolutely worth the money to purchase and enjoy with your meal. Alright, a bit of change of pace. Next up, we're going to visit the famous Bionic Bar located on Deck 5. This is a bar fully operated by two robot arms. All the drinks and mixers are mounted to the ceiling, although they do need to be changed out by a crew member, so there is a crew member on board in case any of the liquor was running low or if the robot arm gets stuck along the way. Other than that, this is a very high-tech, easy to operate drink venue. You can scan your CPass card and then choose either from their classic creation, their specialty creation, or you can make your own drink. I have seen actually other blogger ordering just straight 4 shots of alcohol. They will do it and it will still be covered under your CPass card if you're partying hardcore like that. For us, we just try a couple of their standard popular drink and watch them make it. Once you check out, they will show a cue on the side of each of the robot arm to let you know how long it is going to take until your drink is going to be made. Also, they have a list of couple of fun facts, including what are the most popular drink per age group while you're waiting for your drink. Once your drink is ready, you just simply scan your CPass card at the end and the drink will come right towards your hand. Overall, we tried a couple drink at the Bionic Bar. We were not terribly impressed. I'm not sure it's because the mixer itself were all leaning on the sweeter side or it just lacks that human touch feeling when you want to when you go to a bar and you wanted to have. So it was a really fun thing to try for one time, but we didn't find ourselves wanting to go back there again for the rest of the trip. Next up, I'm taking you guys to our second favorite restaurant on the entire ship. This is Le Hooked Seafood Restaurant. We find ourselves coming back to this place multiple times, and it also has one of the best specialty cocktails. The first one is the St. Peter's Spritzer. It is a version of Aperol Spritz, but they add a little more Saint-Germain elderflower liqueur. Very, very refreshing. I don't know if it's just the bartender or whatever it is, but this is a cocktail we find ourselves coming back to over and over again. And in addition to that, they also offer 2 different kinds of oyster shooter, a traditional made with vodka, horseradish, cocktail sauce, and all the usual suspects. The other one is a G&T made with Bombay Sapphire, lemon juice, and a little splash of tonic. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for gin and tonic, but I find the mixture of the G&T with the oyster quite weird and not as good, so we ended up sticking to a few more shots of the traditional oyster shooter. In addition to that, the food here are all very outstanding. Highly recommend the raw oyster and the 3 different kind of cooked warm oysters on the half shell. And of course, the homemade lobster is one of the best as well, and I'm a huge fan of their ceviche. As you can tell, there's a reason why we love this restaurant and we came back to it over and over again. Now let's talk about our favorite specialty restaurant along with our favorite specialty cocktail on board of Symphony of the Sea. This is on deck 8. It is their 150 Central Park. It's kind of a high-end fine dining concept, but it wasn't stuffy. The food was absolutely delicious along with the cocktail. They only have one specialty cocktail. That's what they call the garden martini, or essentially a cucumber martini, made with vodka, cucumber, basil, sweet and sour, and the wheel of cucumber. It is so refreshing and so good. We had to get one every single day before our dinner, no matter where we're having our dinner. The drink was muddled, shaken, and served in a cocktail glass. It always takes the server a little while to make, and you can totally tell the work and the love that went into it. By far, hands down, my favorite drink out of the entire cruise. Absolutely highly recommend. And in addition to that, they also have a few real high-end liquors served at 150 Central Park, such as Remy Martin Louis XIII that they proudly display in the center of their restaurant that you can get either an ounce or 2-ounce shot of. Next up, we're going to talk about the bar and specialty drinks at the private island of Coco Cay owned by Royal Caribbean. If you're headed anywhere near the Bahamas, most likely you're going to make a stop at Coco Cay. They have one of the biggest saltwater pool out of all the Bahamas with a huge swing-up bar right inside of it. It is absolutely beautiful, and their specialty drink is called the Coco Loco. It is made with orange juice, pineapple juice, papaya, coconut cream, dark rum, and a little bit of grenadine. To be honest, by this time of the trip, we had so many tropical drinks. They all started to taste very similar, but all very delicious nonetheless. One tip I will give you is that the line at the swing-up bar can get very, very long and crowded in the middle of the day. We had 2 ships on the island, both at less than 50% capacity, and we still waited a very long time to get service at the swing-up bar during the middle of the day. At some point, I decided to hop out of the pool, walk to the next closest bar, and grab a drink there instead, just to avoid the line. So that's my one tip for you if you're going to Coco Cay during the peak seasons. Alright, lastly, I wanted to name off a few other great venues on the ship to grab a drink. I know we fell short on hitting every single bar on this trip, but I do highly recommend hitting up the following venue. First, this is Dazzle's and deck 8 every evening have a live band. It is a great venue to relax after your dinner in the evening. If you're staying at a suite or above room level, you also have access to the suite deck in front of the ship. This one usually have some of the shortest line and better selection of alcohol. Copper and Kettle is located on deck 5. It's an English pub type of venue with usually live music in the evening and a good selection of beer, very chill environment, another great place we like to hang out. The Solarium Bar, located on deck 15, is an adult-only area with beautiful artwork during the nighttime, very relaxing vibe, and good view in the front of the ship during the day. Another great place to hang out. You honestly cannot walk more than a few steps without hitting a venue that serves alcohol, so I hope this video helped if you're planning on going on Symphony of the Sea anytime soon. If you're enjoying watching wine-related content, don't forget to subscribe to my mailing list on www.angiesom.com so you don't ever miss any videos just like this one. Enjoy your vacation. Cheers!